What's up, good people? Watch the game sports. I'm your man, L.A. Cheatham,
Yo,
and
yo.
we have some football to talk about, and we getting ready for the Bears and Bills. For the Bears, it will be their second preseason or exhibition football game. We have a special guest in the house.
You gonna say
Would
what
you
up,
care
good
to
people?
introduce this young man?
What up, good people? He's back for his second appearance. He's still the youngest guest that we've had here on Watch the Game Sports. He said, don't call him Link, call him Big Woods. That's what he's going with for his stage name. And Big Woods is big busy right now.
Yeah, we're gonna try and keep it quick tonight for Woods before he gets kind of sleepy. Look like he been talking in and out. So, a lot to talk about, man. The Bears went out and played 2.5 quarters of football at Canton at the Hall of Fame game. I came away from that game with some questions, some unexpected questions, but I was happy with what I seen, and I do understand it was the second and third string guys. But nonetheless, it was glorified practice, and we're looking at the bottom of the roster.
Yeah, yeah.
So before I go any further, before we get into the Bears and Bills, we have to recap the Hall of Fame game. Um, Before I get your input on this pen, I'm going to take another opportunity to thank all of the media outlets in the Chicagoland area, be it YouTube or AM radio. The Score 670, ESPN Chicago, and on the YouTube side, the Windy City Breeze and my man Pat the Designer, CHGO, and I think that's about it. Shout out to my man Will Bates,
Yeah, yeah.
and soon will be coming in on with us, Big Michael Thompson. Man, I think you're gonna enjoy Mike. You know, I got an eye for talent, so Mike is he's a bit of a character himself. I've never even met him. I met this dude on Facebook as well, just like I met
Will.
Will Bates on Facebook in a Bears fan group. So I'm looking forward to having Mike on, Will, cousin Bob, Cutter Pac Man. Hey, it's big. I've never felt this way as a Bear fan. I don't really have a lot of expectations for the Bears, and I'm
Are
gonna
you
tell you
excited?
why.
You're not even
I'm excited
excited
for
for football?
football. I'm
Okay.
excited for football. And actually, I really enjoyed the Hall of Fame game. I want to take out the time to acknowledge the guys that were inducted into the Hall of Fame one more time before we go further into this exhibition season. And those guys will be Steve Mongo McMichael, 85 Bear, long time coming for him. Um, who else do we have? Devin Hester.
Yep.
And who else it was? Julius
Julius
Peppers. Julius Peppers. Let me get into my list with the rest. Andre Johnson, Patrick Willis, and Randy Gradisher. All of those guys were inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So congratulations to them and their families. Big up to Mongo Steve Mongo McMichael's been a long time coming. He's going through an illness, and it's good to see him be inducted into the Hall of Fame. You know, at this time in his life, he's having a rough go of it. So, what's your take on the Hall of Fame game? I have some interesting things. What about yourself?
Well, last episode we kind of talked about ways to tweak the game just to make it more interesting. But our team was in it. We was being celebrated with two, three Hall of Famers. However you want to break it down, break Julius Peppers down because he committed the ultimate by leaving us and going to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
But
but so did Mongo. Mongo went to the Packers as well. But when they asked
that's
Mongo at that time,
the
Mongo said, "It's whoever that pays the bills, baby," and that's how he left it. But he will ever be remembered as a Bear. And when you think about the professionalism, of the sport, just going out and getting your money. At some point in time, it just got to be business. So I can feel
Yeah.
him on that point, and I'm kind of in that area right now as a fan for some. I mean, I feel pretty good about it too. So
Yeah, yeah, but as far as the game, I was kind of I was kind of I don't want to say disappointed, but just taken back just a little bit by, I guess this would be the second string defense. Davis Mills from the Texans. We know he's got some starts under his belt. I think maybe like about 25 starts under his belt in the league. So I'm not surprised to see what he was able to go out there and do, just because he's played, top level defenses, top level talent in this league. But for Flus to be that's his side of the ball, I would have
yeah,
expected a little bit more resistance, because you got to think these guys are, they're gonna be rotation guys. So somebody come out, they're gonna come in. So you would like to have seen a little bit more production from the defense. Um, I'm not getting overly uh, just blown away with the what's his name, Brett Rippin. I'm not going off the deep end with that. I'm not going off the deep end with Colin Johnson, right? Even though he looked good out there, and I know everybody's making a big deal out of he's 6'6" and he can go up and high point and get the ball, and he's been putting the work in. Um, that it didn't really move me, because I just wanted us to come out the game, no injuries. Let's get through it so we can get to at least seeing what the rotation is gonna look like. Because we know the first team not gonna play that long if we get the first team versus the Bills. So I kind of want them to be able to, just get through that game unscathed and get to the next game, so they can start implementing how they gonna, facilitate this thing all season. But as far as major takeaways, like, I can't get too excited about backups playing backups and backups playing third string guys. And then you listen to the AM 1000s and the 670 scores, and they just, some of these people on there acting like, well, Rippon should be, given a chance to compete for the starting position. Well, no, you was just on Tyson Bagent, and we saw him, what, 6 games last year? 4?
I
We
think
saw
he
Tyson Bagent.
went 2-2.
Yeah,
He went 4 games. He went 2-2. He got 4 starts. Yeah.
versus top level NFL defense versus starters. And it's just amazing. I know it's this time of year, everybody's thirsty for football, so everybody's gonna be overhyped. But come on, guys, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. It was a glorified exhibition, is what we saw. We not making no evaluations. None.
Well, speak for yourself, because I saw exactly what I wanted to see. Unfortunately, you can say that they did not give Tyson Bagent enough of an opportunity to make plays. I mean, he probably had a number of snaps they wanted him to get before they
Right.
took him off the field. But Brett Rippon and Colin Johnson came out in that second quarter as if they sat back in that tunnel and they had a point to make. They had a point to prove. And I was impressed by it. No matter who was on the field, it was football. And uh, they were out there making plays. Now, let me give you some backstory on Brett Rippon and his familiarity with Shane Waldron's offense. I think he did play with Shane Waldron in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So he is more familiar with the system than Tyson Bagent and Caleb Williams. So now this is what I came away with after watching that game. Brett Rippon made plays. I think he was 11 of 15. He threw 3 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns were caught by Colin Johnson. I think the other touchdown was caught by the tight end Sweeney. Now, before I get ahead of myself, I want to touch on you. You started out talking about defense. Austin Booker was one of the guys highly profiled in this game. I think he was the draft pick out of Kansas, defensive end. And, they've been looking for another guy on the other side of Montez Sweat.
Right.
So we had an opportunity to look at Austin Booker, and a lot of people were impressed with some of the things he did on the defensive side of the ball. Not a lot of pass coverage defense, but he did have some good get offs. I don't think he had a big sack at all, but he did some things and showed some ability in this game as far as his get off on the other side. When you talk about him possibly being out there with Montez Sweat, but let me get back to this situation with the quarterbacks. So as we've been hearing, got a ton of injuries on the offensive line. Okay, Tevin Jenkins didn't finish practice by way at the time in which we're recording this. The Bears didn't practice today, so this was what, Monday. So the Bears didn't practice today. So Tevin Jenkins went down. Nate Davis, I think three or four. Even Darnell Wright, he wasn't there for about 3 days. Okay, so all we can evaluate is what's on the field. And for me, this is going to be the thing for me this season. This is the prove it season for Matt Eberflus. I'm not giving him any excuses. So you better get those old linemen healthy, or you better figure out who can play on the old line. Because I'm not giving you any excuses this season. Rookie quarterback, injured O line, I do not care. I do not care because I was one of the people that thought that Matt Eberflus should have been. If Justin was gone, so should have Matt Eberflus been gone. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get back to this thing with this quarterback. Brett Rippon goes out. Not only did he look good, but his arm looked more livelier than Tyson Bagent's.
Now I'll give you that. I'll give you that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. He has an advantage. He knows the offense, so he's ahead of both Tyson and Caleb to that regard. Colin Johnson, I think they got him listed at 6'6". I'm not sure of his weight, but I was impressed with him. This was a guy that they picked up after they cut Chase Claypool, and I thought they were looking for that body type again, that big body receiver. And I think he was on the practice squad. I think he did play one or two games at the end of the season last year, but I was impressed with him because you can only be impressed with the people that's on the field. The starters didn't play. We're looking at second string guys. We're looking at the bottom of the roster. We're looking for depth. Me and you, we texted and we talked about the one guy, that the one wide receiver. I forget
Rodney,
his name right now.
Rodney
We
Adams.
would, yeah, Rodney Adams. Was making plays consistently in the exhibition season. I forget what, yeah, maybe about 2 years ago.
This was Justin's rookie year. Remember, they was
Okay.
talking about him and Justin had established, some rapport. So we was like, we know Rodney Adams gonna be on the field because he made
Yeah.
plays in all preseason games that
Yeah.
year. And when he got snubbed, it was like, who's doing the evaluating
Yeah. Well, they eventually brought him back, didn't they?
to the practice squad? But I don't think he
Oh,
ever got on the field.
on the field. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my point is, if it's practice squad, he deserves to compete for a position on this squad. But so I was impressed with both of those guys. Okay. So going forward, now this is the thing. This is where I put the pressure on Matt Eberflus. Now they're saying, okay, the old linemen are down. You got old linemen injured. And now the question again, I think it's been I think they already went out and said that Caleb will be starting against the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park on Saturday afternoon.
When did
That's
that
a
come out?
I think I just seen that today.
Okay.
And like I say, this could change between now and then. The game is Saturday, but this is my thing. We don't have a lot of time to just wait for the offensive lineman. I know you don't want to put him back there. I know you don't want to get him hurt, but you've already named him the starter. At some point, he has to go out and get the reps. Like I said, the most important practice, I don't want to hear no more about practice until the Cincinnati Bengals come to town and they have that team practice,
Yeah.
that inter squad practice. Well, not inter squads, but
The joint
the team, the joint practice
practice.
with the Cincinnati Bengals. Those are most important practices that I'm gonna be more focused on. Okay, so all I can go on now is games, and what we have is exhibition games. So Saturday, I want to see Caleb out there. Get some linemen, get the lineman out there. Whoever he's working with this week in practice, line them up. Let's go. I also want to see the defense go out there. Maybe for a quarter or so. Then I want to see Ripping and I want to see Bajan. I want to see them duel it out for number two. And I do believe that Rippin has put some pressure on Bajan
I
only
was just
because he
about to say that.
played well and he knows the system.
I was just
And
about
that's
to ask who
yeah,
you
I'm
think got
looking forward to Caleb, but I know we're not gonna see a lot of Caleb. I
right.
know the biggest thing with Caleb is to get the snaps in, make sure he can, get behind the wheel and start the car and get the feel for the NFL action,
Yeah.
and I think one of the biggest goals for them with Caleb is to get the plays off without the false starts and the bad snaps. That's all I've been hearing out of camp is false starts, bad snaps. You know, so I
Oh,
think that's the goal. Just to get the engine going and see what this offense can look like. He may make a couple plays, he may not. But the thing I'm really looking forward to is this second string quarterback competition. I'm really looking forward to that. I am. And I also want to see if Austin Booker and maybe some of those other guys, Dexter and I forget the other kid's name, but I want to see if those guys can show that they've made progress going into their second season. Javon Dexter and Pickens, I think his name is. I want to see if those guys are going to take the next step, and maybe the Bears don't have to go out and spend money on another edge rusher. Who knows?
do you think the who you think got the edge right now between Bajan and Rippin right now? Because how I'm hearing it is just a lot of it's a lot of hype around Rippin. Just same type of hype that was around Bajan last year. Remember he came in, everybody was enamored of what he could do. Has that love affair, I guess, with Bajan, is that a thing of the past, and now that just got moved down to Rippin because of what we saw on the field Thursday? Or do you think this is a legit competition?
I don't think that Bajan. Now Rippon is I think about 26 years old. I think he's about 26. But I don't think he's got four starts, but I just think that relationship that Rippon has with Shane Waldron, I think that carries a lot of weight. They brought him in for a reason. Now, now I think what they're battling for is 2 and 3. And at 26 years old, come on, man. At 26 years old, you competing to be the two. I mean, you can come in here with the expectations of
Yeah,
saying go along, get along. But when we in here practicing and taking snaps, you going for it all. Because I'm I know they were not gonna do this, but he's got an advantage with the playbook. And so the pressure's on Tyson Bajan right now. But I think they have another quarterback in house. I think his name is I
it's,
forget his name, gotta
it's
look it
no
up.
yeah, it's no vets they got on the depth chart
Well,
behind Caleb.
Tyson, not Tyson. Brett Rippon is the vet. 26 years old. He is the vet.
Let
Don't
me
get
say
me
that.
wrong.
Wait,
Don't get me
let me
wrong. But he is the
experience
vet.
vet.
He knows the system.
Yeah, experience vet. You know what I mean by that? Like a Jimmy G type, one of those type of guys. Like they already had their shot in the league. Now they, for the rest of their career, they just gonna be hired guns. If the one go down, you can come in and keep this thing afloat for 3-4 games, so it don't mess up our playoff chance. Like they chose not to go that route.
Well, that
And
depends on what franchise you're talking about. Because this is my thing. This is why I like what they're doing in San Francisco. They are practice guys. They like put it on tape, in practice, in the game, and they have already shown we don't care how much money we paying this guy. If you the best guy, he's you the guy. And that's whether that's The
It doesn't
49ers have
2 3
proved that you have to have a good quarterback. You don't have to be great. And with Rippon having the advantage of the playbook, I definitely think he's going to put pressure on Tyson Bagent. So I want to see if Tyson Bagent. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, Tyson Bagent probably didn't have the best opportunities in the first game because they probably have a snap count number for him.
Yeah.
But going into this game with Buffalo, I'm willing to bet that Tyson Bagent wants that ball really bad so he can go out there and make his case because that performance that Rippon put down, that's a hard act to follow. 11 for 15, 3 touchdowns. I don't even know about the yardage. I didn't even look at that. I think it was like 100 and some yards. But if they would have let him play the rest of the game, it just really would have been a disadvantage to Tyson Bagent. So Tyson Bagent has to come out. If I'm the coach, Tyson Bagent got to come out and perform. He got to show me that this offense can pop with you at QB.
Yeah, I think I'm just on the other side of it right now. Like I said before, I'm just not going to get too high. I know Brett, he looked good, but again, versus third stringers. We talking about guys that's gonna be, bagging groceries at Sturks next week. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a
And you
lot.
know what? Sturks don't even exist anymore,
Yeah,
so
I
they're in
know, I
trouble.
know. That's exactly why I said it. That's why
Okay.
I said it. Yeah. So now if Rippon comes in, because I'm sure he'll go against some twos this week versus Buffalo, and like you said, the joint practice versus Cincinnati, he's going to get some reps then too. How does he look then? So I'm what you say, you in prove it mode or wait and see
Prove
mode.
it mode.
That's
I'm
what
in prove it mode.
with him
For
and
everybody. I
yeah,
want the competition.
with Colin Johnson too. Same, I'm in the
Yes.
same boat.
Exactly.
You did what
Exactly.
you were supposed to do. Great, but you
Yeah.
did it versus substitute teachers. Okay.
I don't care. Look, if they talking about practice, we talking about the game. And that's what I'm saying. That's all we got to look at. We are not journalists. We are fans. And we have not taken the opportunity to go out to Lake Forest and watch practice. So all we have at our disposal is the game. Based on what I've seen, that's another thing, man. Damn. Valus Jones.
Velvet.
Now we talking about Colin Johnson did play well, but Valus Jones, does Colin Johnson make this roster based on what you've seen ahead of Valus Jones?
Bayless Jones supposed to been cut off of this roster from what I seen from Velvet.
So so that's what I'm saying. He did not play. He was in street clothes, and Colin Johnson went out and made the best of his opportunity. And I think he had to put some pressure on a guy like Valus Jones. Now, it does not help that Dante Pettis muffed the punt, but he's proven in that situation already. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
competition is the best. Competition is the best, and I just think that if Rippon continues to play well, Bajan is going to have they're gonna have a tough decision to make between him and Bajan. And if this thing continues to snowball, and I don't know, I know it's one game, but he has an advantage. He knows the playbook. So I'm looking for the first string guys to go out there and kind of keep the penalties off the field. See if they can make some plays because, like I said, based on what we've been hearing, they've been getting a lot of pre-snap penalties, and botch snaps and stuff like that. So I think the goal is just to run a smooth operated offense where we can actually, get the fundamentals down, get the plays in, and operate the playbook. Very vanilla. I don't expect a whole lot.
You're not even
I,
looking for points. Just go out
I
there, keep
mean,
that clean.
If Caleb Williams was on the field, they're gonna be trying to, they're gonna try and come on now. He gonna take a couple shots.
No, I
It's
said
designed
you
that
do
way.
expect point. Like you just want them to come out there, clean up the pre-snap penalties, Make sure Caleb get the calls in. You know, we
Yep.
got to it. Okay, this how
Yeah.
it's supposed to look. You don't care
Yeah.
about that's not
No, not right now. Not right now. I just
that's my
know. I just want to know that he can go out and play the position, and I'm not giving him any excuse on who's on the offensive line. I'm really not. I'm done with that. I'm not. I'm not doing that. So I want to see him play, and we'll see from there. Now, Brett Ripper has an advantage because he knows the playbook. It's very vanilla right now, and I do understand that. Khalil Herbert got some snaps, and he ran the ball pretty hard. But the question is, a lot of people think he's trade bait. I, for one, think that will be a mistake to trade Khalil Herbert, but we'll see. I mean, if DeAndre Swift, it's just the starters got to show up and show they got to show us what they're capable of doing. It's good on paper, but I
but
just got to see it in the game.
but you know why Khalil is trade bait though, because he's in a contract year. I think next year he got
Yeah,
to get paid. And we got Swift, who we just signed, and Roshan Johnson still on the team. Roshan had a decent showing last year, so they feel comfortable with him. If you can move Khalil Herbert and add something like an offensive line, or just say you could get an edge, you're not gonna get a top tier edge, but if you can get something for him, because I think he's played his way out of Chicago just based on his performance, because they're not gonna pay him. So trade him.
maybe. Hmm. I get it. I get it. Um, if I had to pick some squads, I would like to see him go to uh Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, just to name a couple. Just to name two. Maybe even the 49ers.
You
Because I think they need some depth
McCaffrey.
uh after McCaffrey. They need some depth. So I wouldn't mind seeing Khalil. If they're gonna trade Khalil, put him in a good spot because I like him.
Don't do him like Jordan Howard, right?
No, don't do him like Jordan Howard. I mean, put him in a good spot. I mean, I believe he's going to be good wherever he is. He runs hard. He's not the best in the pass protection. They say he's not a really good receiver. A lot of the same stuff we heard about Jordan Howard. So I like Khalil. I got a thing for the running backs, man. I'm
You
just
know,
going to
I
be
know.
honest with you. So I just got a thing for the running backs. That ain't going nowhere. But um, now we looking forward to Saturday's game against the Buffalo Bills. There's a lot of former Bears, maybe not a lot, but there's quite a few former Bears on this team that I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Of course, we want to see if Josh Allen is going to play. If there's going to be, the question is how many snaps are the starters going to play on probably both sides on both teams. But Josh Allen, of course, is the starter. But Mitchell Trubisky is back, and
In Pittsburgh.
Mitchell Mitchell Trubisky is back. Garrington Evans is in Buffalo. He was a guy that he spent some time back and forth in Chicago. Um, guess what? Our man Chase Claypool is in Buffalo.
I thought he
So
was done. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I thought he was
yeah,
done.
that was rumors that he was going to the CFL. That's just go,
Yeah.
But Chase Claypool is in Buffalo. He's getting an opportunity. So not only do we'll be looking at Caleb and the rest of the Bears, we got a chance to see Mitchell. We're gonna have a chance to see Mitchell Trubisky, Chase Claypool. Let me see who else was on this. I think those are all the former Bears that I could point out that I could think of. But some interesting rookies: Keon Coleman out of Florida State
Yep.
and Fred Gore Jr. Uh, I think he's
Frank,
on that team as well.
yeah, Frank Gore Jr. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to that. Um, I just want to see the Bears continue to compete, compete both for position, for roster spots, and just compete in these games. Very excited about it. Just it's just good to see football again, man. I'm really looking forward. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of expectations for the Bears, but it is proven season for Matt Eberflus. So get that O-line and cracking and get that defense going. And let's go play some football. What's your we probably didn't plan to talk about this tonight, but we did talk about it in our pre-conversation. The whole thing with Jalen Johnson getting saying that they say he got snubbed from the what's the top 100
The top 100. Yeah, yeah,
list. I guess this is an NFL network thing, and I think the players vote this out.
yeah.
But
But players know though.
the players know, don't get me wrong. Um a few things that stood out from this was I think who's the number one player on the list? Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it was Tyreek. Yeah,
Tyreek Hill was the number one player on his list. The thing about that is, see, I had Tyreek Hill as the MVP of the league last year.
he did.
I did. So evidently, me and the players kind of agree on some things.
Right.
Um, Patrick Mahomes was number 4. A lot of people upset about that. Look, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not gonna say he's the best football player in the NFL
Yeah.
because Andy Reid. If you put Josh
Who's the
Allen
best?
with Andy Reid, Josh Allen would probably be in a better situation. If you put Lamar Jackson with Andy Reid, and don't get me wrong, because Harbaugh's a good coach. He
Yeah.
just the game plan was horrible against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game last year. But Andy Reid makes the difference. Coaching matters, guys. No matter how you look at it, coaching matters. Most of your really good football players, I mean, just all around football player, your smartest football player might be the quarterback because he has a lot of responsibility. But man, I mean, you talking about guys that can just play any position. That's what I look at when I talk about a football player.
Yeah, yeah.
So the best football player is hard to determine. See, I don't go, I don't go with what's popular when I talk about sports, athletes, and stuff like this. It's popular to talk about the football player. I think it kind of dumbs the fan down a bit because you got like we talk about this all the time. You got 33 guys that go and take that field. Offense, defense, and special teams. Okay. So for you to single out the best player, it's kind of hard to do, guys. But the best quarterback, I mean, we can look at the numbers, we can look at the accolades, and it's pretty simple. But the best football player, I've already told you, Tom Brady isn't the GOAT.
No, it's Deion
So
Sanders.
Walter Payton here. But um Tom Brady isn't my GOAT. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen, but he isn't the GOAT. In my opinion, he isn't the GOAT. Okay. We're not doing top 40 over here. Okay. Okay. We get to the B side. We get to the B sides. We don't just play the hits. We get into the B sides.
Right.
And when we figure out what's really there, the artistry of what's really there. I appreciate overall athleticism. But so we got the Bills and Bears coming up. Just want to see guys stay healthy. And
That's all.
we going I wonder if Von Miller's gonna play on that in that game as well. We talk about the Bills first string offense and defense. But looking forward to Mitchell Trubisky taking some snaps, seeing if he, making some progress with the Bills. See if Chase Claypool can keep the locker room in order for the Buffalo Bills. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they got a playbook suitable for Chase Claypool out there in Buffalo. Last but not least, no, matter of fact, let me touch back on this Jalen Johnson thing because that was a question. Jalen Johnson was upset about getting snubbed.
Yep.
And in my opinion, I get it. I get it. But you just got paid. It sounds like he's one of the best players in camp. So he's, most guys when they get paid, they tend to drop off or they get injured or whatever.
Yeah,
Wishing him the best of luck, best of health in this season. We're talking about Jalen Johnson. But you just got paid. The Bears think you're great. Chicago thinks you're great. Just go out there and be great.
See,
I mean,
I don't think he's great.
if they don't throw it to his side, what can you say? But his accolades from last season, now don't get me wrong, he has to continue to stack the plays. I mean, because he did do it in a contract year. And I think going into last season, he probably only had one pick. And
Exactly.
then they brought in Montez Sweat and he just went completely off.
Exactly.
So hopefully he can continue to do that. He dropped a couple picks last year too, you know what I'm saying? And
Big, big.
then what I was disappointed was he didn't finish the season. He finished the season on the sideline and didn't play against the Packers, you know. But,
But
you
you know
know,
what? Though.
yeah, he was trying to make sure he was getting his money, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit this one out, I don't want to get injured. I gotta be able to go to the bargaining table healthy, ready to talk, ready to make a deal. I get it. But,
And we
you
wasn't
got
playing.
paid.
We
You
wasn't.
got paid. Say that again.
We wasn't. And that versus the Packers. The Bears, whether the Bears won or lost that game, it meant nothing really in the overall scheme of things. So he made a business decision and didn't line up and play that game, which I get it. Okay, I'm cool with that too. But it's just all the I'm the best corner in the league talk. And like we said, coming into last year, you had one pick, and that was your third or fourth. That was his third year in the league.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
can't, you can't talk like that. You can't. I'm sorry if they don't throw it your way. Okay, cool, but still, you can't talk like that because you ain't done enough. I think in the league or got enough name recognition in the league. Now, what are they grading him on Pro Football Focus? I don't know because I don't get into all of that. I'm talking eye test
Me
review.
neither.
What we see on the field, and a lot of times Jalen Johnson was just one of the guys out there. Okay,
Well,
so I'm
like I
only
said,
and
I
players
get you.
know.
Just like me with Matt Eberflus. Jalen Johnson got paid. You want to see him earn that money. Matt Eberflus survived. He didn't get fired. We want to see him get this team into the win column more than 7 times. So I get it. But I just think the Bears paid him, and a lot of the coaches and and a lot of the media people, they got a lot of respect for Jalen. So don't worry about it. Just go out there and prove it. Go out there and do it. And I just think if the Bears are winning, he's going to be a major reason why. And then you can't help but he won't be denied at that point. But I think the reason why he was not selected was because he was not on a winning football team. Much like when Roquan Smith was in Chicago, everyone knew he was one of the better linebackers in the league. But due to the fact the Bears weren't winning, he didn't get his just due either. But now that he's in Baltimore, now he's the best linebacker in the game.
Right.
So
Now,
Jalen got to win. The Bears got to win. I think that that whole narrative will change. Um, we're gonna finish up with Hard Knocks. What's your expectations of Hard Knocks? I kind of wonder how long will Hard Knocks be in Lake Forest with the Bears? Because in my opinion, I believe that once Hard Knocks leave, that's when the Bears will be the Bears. Because I'm curious as to who's putting on for the camera, coaches and players and things like that.
the Hard Knocks, I think, is this is the tail end of the media hype storm behind the Bears because ever since the Bears got the first overall pick and the Caleb Williams thing and then they drafted Rome, it's been a lot of people paying attention to the Bears. There's been a lot of national media outlets talking about the Bears now. We've been Bears fans pretty much our whole life. Other than outside our local region, they not talking about the Bears like that on big shows, on the national shows. So I think this is going to be the last tail end, especially if the Bears don't go out there and perform. Now it could go the other way, like with the Lions. The Lions had a good season, and they made the playoffs and they went to the NFC Championship game. Now they done seen a resurgence. I think not only in Detroit but just across the league, people recognizing, hey, the Lions are a real football team, and I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what we want from the Bears to be recognized as we are a competitive football team. We not just one of the charter franchises or the Super Bowl shuffle in the '80s. We trying to move past all that. So I think one of the things they're gonna highlight though is what you just talked about, Tyson Bagent and Brett Rippon. They're gonna have to make that a story because
Yeah.
outside of that, the game is marketed to us through the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's the position. So they know they don't have no quarterback competition for the one. So we already know what we're gonna get. Caleb Williams coming in. Hey, he's a generational prospect or whatever. So that's his own story in itself. What we've been hearing since how long? Since probably he won the Heisman. So that's not nothing new. They're gonna have to focus on Brett Rippon. They're gonna have to focus on Tyson Bagent, your boy Colin Johnson, because this tomorrow is the first episode, right? So they had time to
Yes.
go back and readjust what they had originally. Oh, these guys performed on the field. Let's give them a little bit more shine in the first episode. So we're gonna see a lot of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, at the end of it, we just want people to see the Bears as the Chicago, like you said, the Bears. They're a real football team, and they are here to be a competitive team in this league.
Now, my thing on Hard Knocks, like I said, we will find out, in my opinion, who the Bears really are when Hard Knocks leaves. Because in my opinion, I believe that there are some guys that don't give a damn about Hard Knocks and don't really want to be on the camera as much. And at the same time, I think there's guys that's going to cater to the cameras a little bit. And there's a reason why I say this. Caleb Williams seems like the type of kid or the type of young man that doesn't mind, you know, catering to the camera. And what I'm going to talk about now is when Armani Toomer criticized him for talking about telling the guys to clean up the trash or clean up behind themselves in the locker room. What's your take on that? And we could kind of finish up on that.
I thought Monty was taking a shot. I thought he was being unfair when he said that, especially when he called him the Russell Wilson 2.0.
Yeah.
Like, I get what he was saying. Like, you a rookie, you ain't done nothing in this league. How you gonna tell us guys, us grown ass men, how to behave? You can't do that yet.
Hmm.
But if he's coming in to be the quarterback, the
Yeah.
leader of the franchise, the face of the franchise,
Hmm. Okay.
I was cool with it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he's here to do. And I'm sure Caleb didn't do it in no disrespectful way. He just said, hey, it's a lot of square footage in here. The janitorial staff got a lot of stuff to do. Let's just help him out a little bit. That's all he said. And that it wasn't nothing wrong with that. I think Amani Toomer was just he was trolling a little bit, and I didn't think his comment was fair at all.
This is what I think should have happened. First of all, I wonder if Caleb said that for the cameras.
You think
Now
so?
that Hard Knocks, now that Hard Knocks is around, did he say that for the cameras? There's also a clip of him talking about his $25 million signing bonus. Okay, we all heard about the intricacies of the contract negotiation. So how much of this stuff is for the camera? That's my question. Now, if we're talking about that situation right there, this is what Caleb Williams should have done, in my opinion. Look, since you feel as if the locker room is trash, you go get the rookies, get your guys together, and let the veterans see you guys cleaning up the trash or whatever it is. And then lead by example, damn it. And then next time, maybe they'll follow suit. Because it's like if you've been on your job for 5 or 10 years and you got the newly grad leader coming
Yeah.
in, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So lead by example, do it yourself. And I think that's what Armani Tuma was trying to say. Do it yourself. Now we can end on this one unless you got something else.
I was just gonna
It's
say, but where I push back though, when we in between the trenches and it's game time or
true.
what,
Yeah,
he going I want Caleb to get on if the offensive line who are all
that's
veterans
football
not
though.
doing their
That's
job.
football. We
And I
talking about co-worker etiquette,
yeah,
you know, and respect for your veteran. So if you have a problem with trash being around, get the rookies together and clean it up and make sure that the veterans see you.
But
Then,
they might take that as they the rookies. They supposed to do that. You know,
so what? So what? So what? Clean up that trash and go out there and play some good football. Because once you start showing that you're going to do it, lead by example, all they can do is follow. And that's how you lead right there. Set the example. You can't do it with your mouth, baby.
I
Can't
get
do it with your mouth.
with you on that. But me as a vet, if this guy comes in there and has enough pretty much balls to say this to the vets, now you don't notice. Now I'm watching. But if you keep, showing up every day and you showing me you the same person, okay, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. And I think that was Caleb's first step of this my team.
Well, Justin didn't come in talking about cleaning up. And they said he was a pretty damn good leader.
Yeah.
Okay. He just couldn't read the defense from what I hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So go out there and lead by example and put it on the field, and all that stuff will take care of itself. I say this again. Was this for the cameras of Hard Knocks or what? We will find out what we have in Chicago. Many of us are excited about Hard Knocks finally coming to Chicago because we know, most Bear fans know, the Bears, the old way of doing things, they don't want this. They didn't want this. But with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, they are turning a new leaf in Chicago, running his organization, and they're open to a few more things. But
and what are they trying to do?
they're trying to build. They're trying to build a new stadium. They're trying to, they're just trying to take this organization into, a new place in a new space. And I get it. But don't let it fool you, because the only thing that matters is what happens on Sunday. Okay? Like Allen Iverson said, we ain't talking about practice. That's all you're going to see at Hard Knocks. Practice. Office etiquette, locker room etiquette, and all of that. I don't give a damn about none of it. As long as ain't nobody around there getting fired for mysterious reasons, then I'm cool with it. So enjoy Hard Knocks, because I will too. But I think that when it's all said and done, we'll find out about the Bears when Hard Knocks is gone. Let's watch the games.
Hey, don't. Yeah. I can't even follow that up. I was just about to say, remind everybody to like, share, subscribe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We get ahead of ourselves, man, having so much fun. But watch the damn game. And watch Hard Knocks. Enjoy Hard Knocks.
Did you been on here talking a little bit? You ain't got nothing to say now? Nothing?
Somebody keeping him occupied over there. He laughing and giggling. He's been a good host tonight. He didn't go through a thing on us. So, like I said, people, watch the game because Woods is cranking up, and it's time to go. So, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching the game. Subscribe, share. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Bears in Buffalo Saturday. Watch the game.
We out.